Thank you very much, Marie. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Ardbeg committee. Thank you very much indeed for coming tonight. This is going to be this is part of a historic occasion for Ardbeg and for all of us who love our distillery on the west coast on the southwest coast of Islay. You're all got a 10 years old in the hand, I hope. Yes. Now this is a fantastic example of the house style of Ardbeg, as we all know. It's peaty, it's smoky, it's oily, it's got limes, it's got cappuccino, it's got mocha, it's got everything you need. And more importantly than this, as importantly than this, the mouthfeel. When you take an Ardbeg, you get a lovely spiciness, but you get a lovely full mouth. And all our whiskies are what we call non-chill filtered. And non-chill filtration is something that we actually pioneered when we introduced Ardbeg 10 years old, this very dram, in 2000. Lots of other people chill filtered their whiskies at that time, and we said, no, we're going to have it non-chill filtered and at 46% alcohol by volume. And that gives you a very full texture. Ardbeg is a fantastic distillery. It went through a very, very sad period many years ago. It was closed, as many of you might know, from 1981 through to 1989. The distillery nearly died, and I'm very proud to say that our company, Glenmorangie, we purchased Ardbeg in 1997, and since then we've all enjoyed the renaissance of this fantastic distillery. And actually that renaissance wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been for the die-hard fans of the distillery. And in the year 2000, we recognized that, and we introduced what we call the Ardbeg Committee. And the mission for the Ardbeg Committee is to make sure the doors of Ardbeg never, never close again. So drink more Ardbeg. Now I tell you that Ardbeg is non-chill filtered. We add no colour to our whiskey. It's as natural as it comes. The Ardbeg 10 years old is matured in a balance of first fill and second fill ex-bourbon casks. And the first fill bourbon cask gives you a creaminess, a lovely vanilla in the whiskey. And the second fill, which has had Ardbeg in it once already, that second fill is slightly less creamy and it brings forward more spiciness, which you can also taste in Ardbeg. And today we've got three lovely expressions which we sell all over the world. There's Ardbeg 10 years old, which was World Whisky of the Year in 2008. There's Ardbeg Ugadal, which is a different whiskey. It's got Ardbeg, the bourbon cask Ardbeg in it, and but we've also added some sherry cask matured Ardbeg. And it's that balance of the intense date figs of the sherry cask and the creamy vanilla of Ardbeg in bourbon cask that bring Ugadal together. And indeed, that was World Whisky of the Year in 2008. And of course, our third one is Ardbeg Corrie Vrecken, which many of you might know. It actually tells the story of a famous Viking called Brecken, who perished after trying to win the hand of the daughter of the Lord of the Isles on the island of Islay. He was asked to anchor his boat for 3 nights and 3 days in this big whirlpool. And he had 3 ropes, one of wool, one of hemp, and the third rope was made from hair of maidens of spotless reputation. And on the first night, with his anchor, he put it into the whirlpool, and the wool one broke straight away. On the second night, he put the anchor in with the rope of hemp, and that broke. And on the third night, he said, I have no problem. But unfortunately, one of the maidens of spotless reputation wasn't quite as spotless as she made out. So the rope broke again, and down he went. And today we celebrate that wonderful story in the Corrie Vrecken, which is, again, Ardbeg with some bourbon cask in it. But it's also got some new French oak at the heart of it, which gives you a lovely cayenne pepperiness when you drink it. So what you have in those three whiskies is three fantastic styles of Ardbeg. But we love innovating and introducing and inventing at Ardbeg, and tonight we're going to tell you a story altogether out of this world. Last August, I got a telephone call from New York, and it said, "Get us some new made spirit from your still. Give us some of your oak from your barrels, and we will put you into space." So we at first thought this was a joke, but we said, "Oh, right, okay." So Bill Lumsden, who is our head of distilleries, he and I rushed around on a Friday afternoon in August when we were thinking about going to the pub for a beer. We were rushing around looking for the requisite pieces for this thing, and we sent them off to Houston in Texas, and then we heard nothing. So we thought, well, this thing is just not going to happen. But eventually, on the 31st of October last year, we were told it's going up on the Soyuz Russian rocket from Baikonur in Kazakhstan on Sunday. So off it went, up into the heavens, up to the International Space Station. So we heard nothing, and then on the 11th of January, about the 5th of January, we were told it's going live next week. And the experiment went live. And I have a sample of what's up there. I'll just put it down. Where is it? I've got it here somewhere. Ah, yes. This is it. This is called a mix stick. It's not a cigar, it's a mix stick. And on one end of the mix stick is the Ardbeg new made spirit, straight from the still. And on the other end are these little shards of oak from the barrels in our warehouses. And in the middle, there's a separator to keep them apart. And when the experiment went live in January the 11th this year, the astronauts up there broke the separator, and the two elements came together. So what we have here is the first maturation experiment in space. And your distillery has made this historic moment. So Ardbeg being what we are, we felt we just had to celebrate. And the reason you're here tonight is to obviously hear this story, but it's also to try the more earthly Galileo, which we put together as a celebration of this wonderful experiment. This experiment is going to be up in the International Space Station for 2 years. We have some of these sticks in warehouse number 3 at Ardbeg Distillery on Isla, and we also have some samples in Houston. So with the control samples in Houston, the samples we have on Isla, and the samples up at the space station, we're going to have a fantastic reveal in about 2 years' time. So if I could say something rather silly, watch this space. But it's a fantastic, very exciting experiment. And when we thought about celebrating it, we felt we just had to have a fantastic whiskey. And Bill Lumsden put together a beautiful whiskey, which from an experiment he made back in 1999, which I'll talk about more later. And at this point, I'd just like to say thank you so much to my colleagues in Tennessee and all the people working to make this fantastic evening such a great success. I see a gentleman asking a question.
Yeah, this might sound a little stupid, but did you break those separation chambers at the same time in Houston?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. No, so that's a very good question. Yes, we did. Yeah. So the separators broke in. We on the 11th of January, we rushed up to our lab at the distillery and broke the separators at the same time as the separators were broke in Houston.
So you could compare.
Yeah, it is a proper controlled experiment. So it's a good point. No, it is all timed. So Galileo was the name we gave to this whiskey because our earthly celebration, if you like, because obviously Galileo Galilei was the founder, one of the founders of astronomy and space exploration. And I'd just like to say thank you so much for listening to me, and I'm going to come back in a few minutes and talk to you some more about Galileo. Thank you.